everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katrina and just finished up work for the day. All of the clips that you just saw were from yesterday. All weekend it like poured and poured rain. We don't have a rain gauge, so I have no idea how much rain we got, but it's a lot. And as you can see, my riding arena is an absolute swamp at this point. It's supposed to keep raining for a couple more days and then we'll get some sunshine and warmer temperatures again, but 2 days is not going to be enough. Like, it's going to take a long time for my arena to dry up to a point where I can ride in it. So we're gonna head home, head to the barn, and kind of do what we can out there. Not ideal, but not much I can do about it, right? And there's no point in complaining about the weather. So we'll get over there and figure out what to do from there. So I just made it to the barn and it is miserable out. I put my winter jacket on because it feels so cold. And I found out that the boots that I wear to the barn have holes in them. And I don't own rubber boots. Like, you would think someone who lives on a ranch would have rubber boots. I do not have rubber boots. So I have wet feet at the moment, which is lovely. So this time last year, I bought Diesel middle of May of last year, and about 3 weeks into owning him, this exact scenario was going on. We got a pile of rain and I wasn't able to ride. And I remember being so anxious about it, like just a wreck, because I could not ride my new horse. I don't know why, but it really bothered me. This year, I'm kind of like, I expected it. This is what happens in Alberta in June. Like I said, it is what it is. There's no point in fretting about it because it's not going to change anything. So I'm going to go catch the boys and bring them into the barn. And yeah, probably just tinker a bit and kind of give you guys a rundown of what I do when I cannot ride. So last year when I couldn't ride Diesel because my arena was so wet like it is now, one of the things that I did was practice showmanship and halter because, and I apologize if you can hear them eating, they're just like diving into supper at the moment. But one of the things that I worked on was showmanship and halter technique because I had planned on showing Diesel last year, and which I did, and he didn't have any experience with that. So I would literally walk him up and down the driveway, practicing, like setting him up square, doing my thing, getting him to turn on the haunches, like all those sorts of things. So that is something that I can consider doing. The thing about this quarter that we live on is that literally the only flat piece of land is where my arena is, and so there isn't really a place for me to like ride in the pasture. It's very, very hilly, and like right now it is very, very slippery, so not safe for Diesel. He's also very, very spicy right now just because the weather's like very, very crisp, and they've been acting like yahoos. I am so glad I did not put sliders on Diesel, because mud and sliders would not have been a good combination at all. So yeah, good call on my part not getting sliders on him last week. Back in the day when I was riding junior full-time, I would definitely ride in muddy conditions like we have right now. Like my schedule, I rode 6 days a week, regardless of what the weather was doing. A little bit of stupidity, I think, on my part from back in the day. I didn't really realize the injuries you could cause a horse by riding them in mud. One thing I will say though, where I grew up, the riding arena had sand, so it was a lot different than the ground here where it's mostly topsoil. The topsoil gets very, very slippery, whereas the sand in the ranch where I grew up, it was like riding on a beach basically, whereas this is just, you're riding in wet dirt. It's terrible. So definitely not riding in this, not gonna lunch him in this or anything like that. So we'll be restricted to basically hand walks up and down the driveway at this point until things dry up. And you know what, like hand walking your horse, spending time at the barn like I'm doing here, just brushing his tail, it's not the worst thing in the world. Especially last year when this happened, I had only had Diesel for like a month, and so it was really good for me just to bond with him out of the saddle, right? Just get to know him and that sort of a thing. Just take it as a breather to just do some of the more softer things that I wouldn't normally take time for, like practicing showmanship and trail, like just, yeah, bonding with my horse. It's these things that, like, if it was up to me, if I had an indoor arena, I would be riding every single day, 365 days of the year. I would not be practicing showmanship. I would not be spending a ton of time in the barn just tinkering with my horse because I want to be riding and getting things done and on and on and on, right? So kind of forces my hand to take time, which in the long run, this will benefit when we do get back in the saddle because we're just more of a team. Or that's the theory anyways. I can feel in my head, I'm like, that is so lame, Katrina. That's not the case. You need to be riding. Maybe. I don't know, but we're gonna go with it. While I'm here, might as well see if I can get my pull-ups in for the day. Oh no! Oh gosh. No, to be fair, I did have an upper body workout today where I did work my back a lot, so that was hard. I'll blame it on the heavy winter coat, how about that? And the water in my boots. So, like I said, my arena will not be rideable for quite some time. Like, if it's good by the end of this week, I will be very, very lucky. So in the meantime, I will be coming out here and tinkering. If I'm completely honest, I doubt I'll be doing any halter or showmanship stuff. I really, really don't care about those classes. If I show this year, which it's looking more and more like I won't be showing this year, if I do, like, I'll brush up the week before. I have bigger, or I'm not gonna say bigger fish to fry, but I have other classes that I'm more concerned about than halter and showmanship. So probably won't be doing that this year. We'll try to go for walks maybe with my horses as much as I can. And also just taking time to come up with a game plan. Like I said in several videos before now, I've been dealing with a plateau with Diesel, and I need to come up with like a solid game plan of this is what we are going to do. So need to focus on that, and having this bit of extra time here now this week, I will try to do that. So that's kind of the game plan. I would say if you're dealing with muddy situations, like obviously hauling to an indoor arena, fantastic. If you have pastures where it's safe to ride, do that. Hand walking works too. The kittens are playing over here. It's funny to watch. He's playing with a feather. Hold on. Tito. Tito. So that's kind of the end of the video, but before we wrap up, I do just have like a favor to ask of you guys. So I've been oscillating between like training, horsey content, and fitness content because they're both things that I'm very, very passionate about. I love my horses, obviously, but I also love like working out and nutrition, strength training, all of those things. And I like combining the two. But I want to hear from you. What do you guys want to see? Do you like seeing like fitness content as it pertains to the equestrian? Do you just want to see horsey stuff? Do you want to see a combination of both? Like, let me know what you want to see in the comments. Because yeah, I would appreciate your feedback because I keep like going around and around in my head on what I should be creating and not really making any decisions. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Strong in the Saddle. And until next time, remember, it's always a good day to ride.